you, what you're going to see here is a bat signal one-on-one. And for those of you that might be newer to this world, bat signal for me is the way that how we decide who we're actually here to serve right now, and how we're able to pull them in. It's with our bat signal. It's with who we are, what we've been through, blah blah blah. And so anyway, I have lots of trainings. You can go onto YouTube and be able to search Martha Krejci bat signal and find some stuff. But sometimes, a lot of times, we have a hard time seeing, what is it, the forest for the trees? So like we're so in it that sometimes it's difficult for us to be able to determine what our bat signal is. And sometimes really we just need to pop it off somebody and have them say, that sounds right, that sounds good. But anyway, what we're about to do here is dive in and see if we need to niche down or laser focus down any further, or if we're good, or what we need to do. So Kim, thank you for being so vulnerable as to do one of these live. You guys have no idea how how freaky this can be. To do something like this live is really a big deal. Before we came on, Kim said, I'm not going to throw up. It's fine. And I was like, me either. I just got home from my kickboxing, and I was like, it's a different kind of throw up, but either way, we might both just puke today. So, stick around. Okay, so Kim, what would you say is your bat signal right now, or what do you believe it to be right now, and then kind of like move from there?
That's the problem. I don't. I for the 2 years I've been saying I don't have one, I don't have one, I don't have one. So this morning I woke up with, I can't see it yet.
There it is.
But
okay.
I've done Big Think twice. I've done the bat signal courses. I've done the arm length hashtags. I don't dive deep in researching anything. I don't have children. I am very helpful. I have not passed out in an elk that I was skinning on the table. I don't have stories like that.
That's from the Cutting Edge Intensive, you guys. If you're like, what is going on right now? I don't know if she's all right. It's because it was from the Cutting Edge Intensive. That's an inside thing.
So I find when I listen, I have to rewatch everything, and I listen to other people's stories. It's, my kid had this, or I had this health scare, or I don't have any of that. So
Yeah.
I have been paralyzed.
Tell me about your life. What comes up?
I work, eat, sleep, all in that order.
Okay. How long have you done that?
Since I've been 10.
Since you were 10. So what required you to do that at 10?
I'm just Dutch and stubborn and didn't like being at home, so I went to work. Actually, I had a babysitting job once. Don't strike me dead for this, but I'm not a big children fan. I like other people's kids, not mine. I had a babysitting gig. It lasted an hour. My mom picked me up and I said, I'm never doing that again, ever. So I started waitressing from when I was 10 to 18.
Oh, yeah. Oh, restaurant work is good. My background, I have like 14 years in that industry. That will make you an incredible business owner, period. Working in restaurants, the anticipation of needs and all of that stuff, it makes you so good. Also, I had a bad babysitting experience. My first time that I ever babysat, first of all, I was nervous as heck because I'm like, I'm not an only child, but my brothers and sisters they start at 13 years older than me. So basically I'm an only child. And so I didn't really spend time around kids. The very first time that I babysat some kids from our church, one of them broke their wrist as I was watching them because they were jumping onto different couches, and I was like, whatever. And then they broke their wrist. So anywho, that scared me to death. So, okay. So you started working at 10 years old. Tell me more about your life. What happened? What happened next?
Then I printed lottery tickets for 18 years. And then I've been a funeral director and embalmer for 12 years.
funeral director and embalmer. All right, we're getting there. So, being a funeral director, uh, do you, in the way that I have a friend of mine who's a funeral director, um, and he does everything. Like he's got some admin people, like a couple, but really he embalms. He'll call me while he's embalming somebody, and I'm like, stop it! Like this is, I feel like we shouldn't be talking right now, and like please stop, you know. And y'all have the most wicked sense of humor of maybe anyone that I know. Healthcare workers and funeral directors, wicked sense of humor. I'm just saying. Like a little creepy. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, so, for you as a funeral director, do you own the funeral home? And then do you also do like the sales process and stuff with the families and whenever they come in too?
So I'm just the manager.
Okay.
Me and my staff treat it like our own. That's why we're so successful.
Yep. Uh huh.
And we're small. So we're a small company, but we do and serve a lot of families. And I'm the person that will pick up the decedent, dress the decedent, sit with the family, answer the phone, clean the bathrooms, wash the windows, write the contracts. We do it all because we're small and family owned.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that you've been doing for 10 years. What's your favorite part about that job?
Helping people. When people phone, they're stressed. It's the worst time in their life. And when they talk to somebody that when they pick up the phone, they're like, "Oh, this person knows what they're talking about." You can just hear them come down three
Yes.
notches,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that they're in safe hands. And we just take over, and I think that's the best part of my job.
Yeah. So, what
One of
are
them.
the
The other one is when we get people into our care, um, and they want to see their loved one, and they get into our care and they're a mess, and I'm like, "Oh my Lanta." So from the time they get into our care to the time we dress them and get them presentable in the viewing room, that's quite satisfactory.
Mm, I like that. I like
Hmm.
that. Um, so where I'm already going, just so you know, where I'm already going in my mind right now is your favorite part of the job is basically to help, well, to be that confidence force that helps to de-stress somebody. People de-stress under confident leadership, right? And you're the confident leadership that allows them to de-stress. And so we can even move into a bat signal space of, uh, and I've seen people do this before, but you're in a different position, being able to help people know what they're going to need whenever somebody passes. Like, here are the things that you need to have together. And also, even having, like, showing them how to take care of themselves, how to de stress as that time is happening. And so you don't have to always live in that space of, because that could be a heavy bat signal, but you already live there anyway. You work there. Does that feel like a heavy space to you? Because if you've been doing it for 10 years, it might just be what you do. So it's fair for me to ask first.
Um, I think I think because I kind of assumed I would be bat signal, it would be death related. Because I am passionate about my job, I will get on my soapbox and tell you what.
I
But my
love
concern was
soapboxes. Yeah.
my concern was that some days get heavy
Mhm.
because there's just two of us, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that and then carry on. I thought my concern was it was going to be too heavy.
Yeah. Okay. Um, well, there's the when you're working within your bat signal, you don't have to always be in the heavy part all the time. So you can be in the getting better part. You can be in the, you touch on it and go, if that makes sense. So you can, just so they know that that's what, you're talking about. But whenever you're like, if these people are, on your email list or whatever, they're already there for a reason anyway. They know why they're there. And so you could just be talking about here's how to make your day better, right? Here's how to blah blah blah, and it doesn't always have to be in the heaviness. You just kind of you touch it and then you pass, you go after that. But so you're passionate about your thing. It feels heavy. Um, is there a part of it that feels lighter to you that you feel like you could help people with? Like, because you know your day better than I do. And so as your days, as you're working, are there things that you do that you're like, I really love doing this part, and you would be able to do that and it wouldn't be so heavy? Like in the, as they're going through a thing, is there a part of it that you're like, I really like this part? Kind of talked about it already, but I want to see if something else pops out.
I think sitting with the families at the first initial visit is the best part, because you get to learn about the deceased, and you get to calm the family down, and then I throw in my odd sense of humor, and that usually helps too.
Yeah, right. I'm saying you guys there's something special about you guys. So sitting at the first initial visit. So now we're talking emotions, right? So now we're starting to talk about being able to process emotions, because that's that first sitting. Emotions are obviously incredibly high at that point. So you're able to hear the story and talk about the person, but also with that humor, what you're doing is you're mitigating emotions, wouldn't you say? Or say no if you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I am.
So the bat signal can even be around mitigating emotions around death, right? And then you're not so far into, you don't keep people in the wallowing area. And that's the blessing too, honestly. That's the blessing. So we all have, our own, what we bring to the world. And the blessing in this piece here is that you help people not wallow. You help people to be able to process and not move on because that feels disconnected, but process and integrate, right? Like integrate those feelings into where they belong. And obviously that can be done with YL. Obviously there's emotions kits, right? Do you run diffusers whenever you're talking to people at? So what?
I have Google reviews on our website. Every time I go into the office, it smells great in there.
So what do you diffuse the most?
Honestly, it's a really small office, so it depends on the day.
Okay.
Because I like to keep it florally and fresh smelling.
Yes. So there's an interesting thing here. Your people there's two, I mean, you've got two potential business opportunities here, right? So you've got one with helping people be able to process what's going on whenever there's a death in the family, help people get things lined up, make sure that they have what they need to have before that stuff happens so they're not caught in having to deal with stress as well as high emotions at the same time. And it's just preparing folks, but which would be great to like work with hospice, work with different, places like that. And that's not even just locally. You can do that on a national level or wherever. I mean, English speaking is what I would stick to. So you've got different countries you can even work with on that level. But there's also something about being able to help other funeral places to yeah, I saw the eyebrows raised on that one. I saw that because now you're talking business to business, and it's a different. You don't stay into the heaviness because you're talking more about like here's how we do what we do, and we get reviews on this stuff. People feel incredibly comfortable with where we are. There's only a few things that you probably need to tweak about what you're doing. And that could be your bat signal is other I know that I'll finish the sentence one day, I know. I know the funeral industry, again, my friend is that, um, that the industry is kind of like having a hard time and has for the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah. Like it's been on because people are making choices about, not getting buried or not whatever. Like it's kind of, there's, that stuff going on in the industry. So to be able to help another funeral home be able to pick up their business locally, and it would be of no competition to you guys because it's not in the same area. You're definitely like what, within 25 miles probably would be most of your people within 25 miles of you, probably within 15 or 10 actually. What are your thoughts of that? I saw both your eyebrows go up, so I noted that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that I actually had never thought about other funeral homes because other funeral homes we're always willing to help them as a funeral home, but I never put it on that level ever. Because I mean, in essence, in our town, they're a competition.
Mm-hmm.
But if they ever need help, of course, I'm in the industry to help, so we help them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never thought of it like in other surrounding areas and cities and towns. I never thought of that.
Exactly. So now if your bat signal's about funeral homes, now people that are like, that know other people that have funeral homes or are working in them or whatever, they would be like, oh, here's this lady. Because you don't see people talking about that a lot. So you can actually have two. So you can be, help with the emotions and that sort of thing. But you can also have that other one as an offshoot there's an entire business that can be built around that. And obviously they could come into Young Living as well, and they can have their own, like what you do. Oh, here it is. Okay. So what you do with as you're supporting your people that come to the funeral home and they're joining into Young Living to be able to grab the oils for emotional processing, or they just want to feel better. Maybe they jump into the 11-day jumpstart, and then they feel good. And it's kind of like, just wanting to revitalize people. As they're doing that, you could then show other funeral home folks how to be able to have that same business with their people. And now, so you see how it's two businesses, and it's building Young Living on both sides, if that makes sense.
Yeah, when I do Young Living trade shows, like before, like a couple years ago,
Yeah,
I would have my funeral card, my business card with me, and when they'd come by our little table and smell all the oils, and we'd talk all the things,
yeah,
you'd get those people that were like, "Oh, well, I don't know," and I'm like, "Hey, I get it. You need to research this." I'm like,
yeah.
"But if it kills you to try this, here's my funeral card. I can help you on that end too."
You guys are wicked. I'm telling you. If it kills you,
Here's my card.
just lay this on your chest. Oh my word.
And it's actually worked. I've had signups from Young Living, but I've also had people come to my funeral home and pre-plan their funeral arrangements
Just because
because
they
of that
like you.
comment.
Well, because they like you. You're likable. Like, you're really likable. And I think it's so important anyway. But you knew this was going to be part of your back signal. You came in, you're like, I don't have one. But you knew in the back of your head this is going to be part of it. But I think it's fantastic. It's really great when our bat signal weaves in with what we literally do every day anyway. Because we do what we do every day because we love doing it. It's just that we don't think of it as something that can also be a bat signal, right? Like, we're just used to doing it. But now it's being intentional about doing it and growing our, what we're doing alongside it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, how do you feel?
Like I have a plan now.
There's a lot of, if I were you, I would probably, after you're done with today, she said she needs to go to work, but she's doing this first. Um,
Oh man, yeah, I had one of our staff members had a stroke last night, so it's touch and go. Yeah, he was
oh my
supposed to bring
word.
our he was supposed to bring my hearse tomorrow because I have a graveside, and I got a text message last night. Yeah, he can't make it. We think he's had a stroke. I'm like,
Oh my
come on.
word.
Yeah, and he's such a super, super sweet man. Super sweet man. So,
What's his name so we can pray for him today?
Ron LaRose.
Ron LaRose. Guys, pray
Yeah,
up, pray up.
he big believer in God. I did a prayer service with him actually not too long ago. So prayer service the night before, funeral service the next day, and he actually we don't normally, but he actually participated in the prayer service and did all the Hail Marys and that. He's a super sweet guy, super sweet man. So fingers
Okay.
crossed.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
anyways, we totally sidetracked there. When my day
Yeah.
is done.
Yeah, so when your day is done, what I would do, thank you for pulling me back in. What I would do is I would just sit and let it marinate. All of it, I would just kind of let it all wash over me. I would have a notebook, and this is what I do. I'll sit in my bed, I'll shut the door, make sure nobody's coming in, so I don't have to worry about getting interrupted. And I'll just have my notebook and I'll kind of just sit there and wait for the ideas to come because those are two massive things. And what I would do is I would just wait for the ideas to come and then you just free write. You just write whatever comes into your head, probably for about 20 minutes, honestly. And then afterward, go look back at it and say, okay, where's the gold in here? And it'll pop out at you. But you can use that for the 90 days of content that, the 90
Yeah,
days content thing, use that as your hub. Hot dog. It's over with.
that 90 days is amazing. All of it's been
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Like it's ridiculous. I mean, everybody like I'm in the HBR, I'm in Go for Gold and got paralyzed, froze. Cutting Edge comes along.
Yeah.
When I first saw you, I forever, everybody's like, how you doing? I'm like, living the dream. I'm living the dream. And that came up. I'm like, okay, I need to follow this lady. Then Cutting Edge came along, and you're like, this is how we're going to do it. And I'm like, sure
Yeah.
we are. I'll just follow her.
Yeah.
I have had people phone my office yesterday to sign up for Jumpstart. Phone me. Me and my girlfriend want to sign up. What is this all about? And I'm like, so nobody's
Oh,
died?
my earbuds
No.
came out. My earbuds came out. Hang on, I can't hear you anymore. My earbuds popped out. Here we go. What? So they called
So
you.
they called my office and they're like, what is this thing you're posting about? We want in. Me and my girlfriend are at Denny's having cheesecake. I'm like, well, enjoy that cheesecake because you won't be having
It's
that
gonna
on
be
the
the
11
last
days.
one. Yeah.
I'm like, let me get this straight. You're phoning my office and nobody's died. You're talking about Young Living. Yep. I'm like, what?
Yes.
It's stupid
Oh.
insane. Stupid insane. It's going through the roof. It's
Oh.
crazy.
I love it so much
Yeah.
because it works so well and people are like getting better. It's just
Yeah.
exciting. It's exciting. It's so exciting. Oh,
Yeah.
Kim, you just made my whole day. Well, lady, you have fun at work. I'm
I
going to pop
will.
out. I'm going to pop out of here.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Have the best day. Everybody else, you have an awesome day. Be blessed, friends. Don't forget to pray for, what's his name one more time?
Ron LaRose.
Ron LaRose. Ron LaRose. Okay. Thank you. Adios, you guys. Bye-bye.